Welcome to UCF Knightline, your source for UCF sports and former player information.
Hello, Night Nation. Welcome to episode number 38 of the Knightline podcast. I'm Andrew Phegley.
I'm Trace Trylko. 38 already.
38. I didn't say 37 last week, by the way, and you caught that, and you were right. I didn't.
Is it like a jinx or something?
Yeah, it was kind of weird. You know, I don't know.
I don't know what made me, and it was funny, right? I hadn't listened to it, and I just typed it to you one day, and I went, did you say 37?
And I was like, oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah, because that's what you do.
And I didn't. But, oh well. We're coming to you from the 1148 studios, by the way.
This is going to be a very carefree podcast.
It's going to be
relaxed.
It's
mellow.
It needs to be a little bit more carefree.
There you go.
And we've talked about this off air
for about an hour before we hit the microphone.
Yeah. So we're going to try to go back to basics a little bit here. So
boy,
yeah, we got some new things coming up. We're going to do some more stuff on YouTube. We're going to really focus on that YouTube channel and try to do some more stuff on there.
Because people want to see more of our mugs
than
just listen.
Not just see, but there's still going to be listening things on there. But everybody needs to go check out the YouTube channel because there's lots of stuff on there. There's extras where we have interviews with people. There's, interviews just with them and nothing else, not a whole podcast, but just an episode or just an interview.
And what's that channel called?
It's called the UCF Knightline podcast channel on YouTube. You just have to search for UCF Knightline podcast.
Is this where we can plug, and you're on Twitter and Facebook?
Yeah.
And you can follow along that way.
Yeah, I want people to go to the YouTube channel and subscribe to that so you get notifications and all that when we put something up there because there's going to be a lot more stuff on there, I'm just saying.
Sounds like a plan.
It is.
Well, spring practice continues in its final week before the spring game. And if you look at any of the releases on UCFathletics.com, they sound like they could have been written last year or the year before. The team's coming together. Quarterbacks are throwing the right reads. Linemen are starting to gel. That time of year when everything's right in the world of UCF football.
Yeah. So, and then on Saturday, the 18th, I'm sorry, at 2 p.m.
Eastern Standard Time.
The spring game commences.
At Bright House Network Stadium.
Black against white.
Or gold. Is it black against white?
I'm assuming
they haven't announced that, have they?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm hoping somebody wears the black jerseys. Now, maybe they won't be able to, the quarterback might not be able to see the receivers. But anyway. So, yeah, it starts at 2 p.m. You can start parking there at 8 a.m. There's a lot of stuff going on before it. There's, I guess, going to be food trucks, bounce houses,
festivities.
I'm thinking that you can set up the old tent and do some beer drinking. And
there's tailgating.
That's what I plan on doing, to be honest with you. It's an excuse to tailgate. We may see some of you out there. And if we come up to you and stick a microphone in your face, please be nice to us and say good things. So I don't care. You can say bad things, whatever.
We'll just edit those out. No.
Yeah, I just want you to say something. If we see you, that would be awesome.
Of course, most important, team coming together during spring practice. You want to get out injury-free, nobody hurt, and put on a good performance Saturday for the fans out at the stadium.
Yeah, so it'll be cool. I'm looking forward to it. There's all kinds of things going on at UCF this upcoming weekend. The spring game. Mm-hmm. There is the Hall of Fame Awards banquet.
That is on Friday night. It's going to feature the inductions of Asante Samuel, D. Brown, the national champion 1978 volleyball team, and UCF softball great Stephanie Best, who joined us on last week's Knightline podcast.
Yeah, so that's going to be cool. You haven't been around this week. You've been out of town.
Traveling,
so I don't know if you've seen the commercial for what else is going on at UCF this next weekend.
Do tell.
There's like a book convention.
Oh,
well.
I've been to that before.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it looks pretty cool
at the
actually.
arena.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that turn out for that.
Yeah, and like authors and all kinds of stuff.
Is that on the weekend? This is Saturday?
It is, yeah.
Oh,
it's like
cool.
Saturday and Sunday, or just Saturday maybe. So it's
and they have authors there signing.
Yeah,
and,
tons of stuff going on. So yeah, I thought that was kind of cool actually.
You've not been?
No.
Check it out.
But my significant other is a librarian, so we, our life really. I mean, she reads like probably she can read a book in a couple hours, and then another book, and another book, and another book, and another book. So,
and these are books with words, not picture books.
No. She comes home from work, and we're like, oh, so yeah, what do you want to do? You want to go anywhere? Yeah, let's go to the bookstore. I mean,
that's
like
solid.
all the time. Yeah,
that's solid.
So it's
can you tailgate before the book fair?
I don't know, but we may go.
Can you combine these activities?
We're going. Yeah, we'll stop by there for sure.
That's cool.
Yeah. Lots of things going on. Yeah, so some other stuff that went on campus this week.
Yeah, there's a theme the last couple of weeks about former Knights in the wrong section of the news. The police report section.
Yeah, unfortunately, Kevin allegedly got into some kind of...
No, don't say the word allegedly. Police charged him. Don't use the word allegedly.
No, he said he had no idea.
I know, but the word allegedly
He said he had no idea what they were talking about.
It's a horrible word.
Allegedly.
No.
Wrecked his car or something and then left the scene of the wreck, but he doesn't remember it, so...
He doesn't. He allegedly doesn't remember it.
Allegedly. There you go. Again with that word.
I hate that word.
I love that word because, you don't ask a guy in prison what he's charged with. You ask him, what were you accused of?
He's charged with resisting arrest.
Yeah. So,
driving on a suspended license, leaving the scene of an accident without providing information. Yeah. He was also cited, by the way, if those weren't enough things, with improperly backing into another vehicle.
Yeah, but that's not that big of a deal, backing into... I mean, how many old people back into other vehicles and don't know it?
It was all the other stuff. A quote from Kevin Smith, "I want to apologize for my actions as they are not a direct representation of who I am or my feelings toward UCF," he put on his Facebook page late in the week.
He wrote a thing on Facebook, I guess while he was in the back of the UCF police car.
He updated his status.
He did. And this is why he's apologizing, because he was like, I'm going to sue the out of them. I wish...
He wasn't cuffed.
I guess not. Or maybe he was...
He updated his
Facebook
status?
From the back of the cop car, supposedly.
I didn't know that part.
Yeah, and we were all like... That was one of the things on the UCFsports.com. Everybody was talking about it, of course, and there was lots of people. I think Brandon was one of the first people that actually said, he said, they don't take your phone away when they arrest you,
Yeah.
So, I don't know. But there was a lengthy rant on there about the whole thing.
That I did not know.
Yes, and that's why the apology is been,
Not good. We've gotten a couple minutes into this show, and we haven't even mentioned that one of our interviews coming up is with a new UCF football player, Aaron Cochran.
Yeah,
that you spoke with.
Yeah,
so
I'm excited.
Stay tuned
about
for that.
Guy.
Don't go away
Yeah.
As we talk about the arrest report. There are positive things as well.
Oh, absolutely.
And we've got an interview with former UCF men's soccer player Romario Williams, now with the Major League Soccer Montreal Impact. So
Right.
a couple of interviews this week.
We have to get some of this stuff out of the way, though.
Yeah.
All right, so Joe Burnett, I guess, is...
Smokin' Joe.
Smokin' Joe is now playing with the Calgary Stampeders, and we will try to have him on at some point. He's a fun guy. I think that's pretty cool that he's there. Was with the Eskimos, correct? Edmonton?
Yes, Edmonton Eskimos. And the article I sent you was from the Canadian Press, and I don't know if you read all the way down to it, but I like this. In other CFL news, there will be a significant rule change. Converts, I guess that means the extra point, will take place from the 32-yard line rather than the 12.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
The rule change is expected to encourage teams to go for 2 more. I imagine that it would.
That's an interesting game. Like, if you guys haven't ever really sat down and watched a Canadian football game, a CFL game, it's cool.
The announcing's fun on that. To the 50, to the 55, to the 50.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
and it's a wider field, too.
It's wider, and then they've got an extra defensive player as well.
And they always have those goalposts in the front of the end zone.
They're in the front of the end zone like the NFL used to be. Yeah, it's cool, though, and we've got quite a few players that are up there. And I bet you after this year we will probably have a couple more.
And a couple months ago, we spoke with Quincy McDuffie, who's also up in the Canadian Football League.
Yeah. So
we'll have more of those Canadian
and we
Football
actually,
League guys.
I talked to him about the game and, how it is differently. And if you guys have been listening for a while, you remember I played the audio from that punt return that he had, and yeah, it's just cool. I like to watch the CFL as much as I can. Believe they play on Fridays and Saturdays more than Sunday.
That's not a statement. So. You've talked now about books, a book festival, and the Canadian Football League.
Hey, I'm just being honest.
Mm-hmm. Well-rounded.
Well-rounded, yeah. It's a fun game, so try to catch some of that stuff and support our guys up there. All right, so I think now would be maybe a good time to talk to Aaron Cochran. What do you think?
I think that would be a good idea.
All right, I am here with Aaron Cochran. He is 6'3", 250-pound fullback from Atlanta, Georgia. Went to Mays High School. Aaron, how did you come to sign in with UCF, number one? Was it kind of out of the blue, or had you been talking to them for a while?
I've been kind of talking to them for a long time, since the summer, probably right after my Louisville offer.
What was it that made you decide to come to UCF?
It was just the campus, the hospitality that the coaches shown, and I have a lot of family down in Florida.
So what was your campus visit like? When did you do that, and what did you do?
Went on the visit January 23rd. We hung out with the players and got to know what was going on campus, what was the main thing that everybody was interested in. It was saying that they had like a pool party every Friday, and I was kind of interested in that.
That's cool, yeah. Did you get to see that big pool that's on campus?
Yeah, I got to see it.
It's a pretty cool campus for sure, and I don't know about Atlanta, but it's a little bit warmer down here, I think, during the wintertime, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
a lot more.
That'll be exciting, I'm sure. It'll be nice. And spring practices have just been going on this week and last week, and it's been warm out there. Sometimes they've been inside, sometimes they've been outside. Is the heat during practice going to mess with you at all? I know it's hot in Hotlanta, right?
It's beyond hot. It's not going to bother me at all, though.
When do you actually get to UCF?
Come down June 24th.
Do you have any idea what a major is going to be for you?
I want to major in sports marketing.
Yeah, that seems like a popular one with a lot of the athletes. That's cool. What was your coach like in high school? You played defensive end and tight end.
Played a lot of things. My coach, they were pretty cool, laid back, but can be hard on you at the same time. It was like a father figure on the field. Coach
O'Leary can be, hard on people, but he's hard on people because he wants them to succeed, I believe. And all the former players that we've ever talked to said that really helps them in life in general, not just playing football, but it makes them a better person because, he's hard on people. So he's got that reputation for sure, but he really produces a lot of kids that go to the NFL and stuff like that. So I think that's pretty cool. Who was your main recruiter for UCF?
My main recruiter was Danny Beard.
What did you think of him?
Pretty cool. He was like a big brother, kind of a role model for me.
Did they ever get up to see a game that you played in or anything?
No, sir. I know they came for home visits, and that was about it. They came up to the school. Did
O'Leary get to come up and talk to you at home or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what was that like, having O'Leary at your house?
It was great. Having a big legend in my house, pretty awesome.
What's it going to be like making a transition into a new position? You say that you played quite a few other positions.
I played tight end, DN, D tackle, running back, quarterback, receiver.
Okay, so playing fullback shouldn't be a big deal to you.
Yeah. Not a big deal.
I watched your tape a little bit. I think a lot of it was from your junior year. It showed that you could catch the ball pretty well, though.
Yes, sir.
How familiar are you with UCF, and have you had a chance to see them play?
I've seen them play on TV once or twice because we couldn't get that many TV games up here. But I've seen that they use the tight ends really well, and the H-back are a big part of their offense.
What would you like to accomplish while you're at UCF?
My main goal is to win the John Mackey Award.
Okay, and that award is, for people that don't know?
The best tight end in the college football.
All right, that sounds good. I like that you're already looking to win an award. That's cool. What did they tell you about what you can expect playing at UCF?
They told me I could expect the ball a lot, and that was pretty much it. Expect the ball, and you'll do a little bit of blocking.
So did they talk to you about playing early at all or anything like that?
They said if I come in, I have a chance of playing early.
All right, that's cool. So you definitely want to play early. So, yeah, I think that the possibility of that happening with a guy of your size and athleticism, I think that that's pretty possible. There definitely needs some help at tight end. They moved the guy that was one of their main tight ends this year over to wide receiver. He's also kind of a big guy. He's an older guy because he went and played professional baseball for a couple of years.
Yeah, Jordan, that was my host on my visit.
Okay, so yeah, you met Jordan Akins then, yeah. He got to do a bunch of different things last year. He was a tight end, an H-back, and then he also returned some kicks, and did a whole bunch of stuff. I think there's a lot of way that they can use a guy of your size and stature for sure, and especially if you can catch the ball well, and it looked like in that tape that I watched that you could do that. So, Aaron, if there's anything that you could tell UCF Knight fans that they haven't read in an article or seen on tape about yourself, what would it be?
They don't know that I played in the Horizon Seniors game. I was the first to win all conference on both sides of the ball.
Okay, that's cool. That's really cool, actually. Thank you very much for joining us. I really appreciate it. We're looking forward to having you on campus and being a UCF Knight.
I'm looking forward to being tonight.
All righty. Thank you very much.
All right,
So you travel a lot for work and fun. Have you ever thought about having just a little bit more insurance? TravelX gives you the peace of mind so you can take care of your family and loved ones. Click the link on our webpage. I'm just saying, accidents happen.
This is UCF linebacker Quentin Hampton, and you are listening to the UCF Knightline podcast.
All right, thank you, Quentin. So,
can I go back to something on the spring game, by the way?
Sure.
Nebraska drew 77,000 people.
It's because there's nothing else to do
in
Nebraska.
I know, but 77,000 people for its spring game.
It was probably the nicest, warmest day all year.
It's just crazy to me. Michigan had 60,000 2 weeks ago.
Well, and we'll be lucky if we get, 1,500? No, 15.
15. No, there'll be more than that. But that tends to, I think one of the highest reported they had is when we moved into Bright House and they announced a crowd of 7,000, but it didn't seem like there were really 7,000 there. I think it's something, if you're local, certainly you should, it's free.
Honestly,
I've
never been to the spring game, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, again, you mentioned it. It's tailgating, and they've got all the activities for the kids.
Yeah,
you get a little game day in April.
I'm drinking some beer and maybe cooking some
at 8 a.m.
some burgers or something.
Are you going to be out there at 8?
I don't know.
Oh.
Maybe. We'll see.
Anyway, 77,000. That's the number to beat.
Yeah,
Nebraska's set the bar.
Right. Very high. So George O'Leary, in an article this last week, was, I guess they were basically talking about the who were the top coaches outside of the Power Five, and George O'Leary was ranked number 1.
Number 1. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Most of these others, of course, are, AAC names. Some of them are, and the guy from Navy's in there, and a couple others. East Carolina, Tommy Tuberville from Cincinnati, too. The write-up there, O'Leary's success speaks for itself. Only group of 5 coach on the list who have won a BCS bowl game. Won 47 games and 3 conference championships with a 3-1 postseason record since 2010. At 68 years young, O'Leary just signed a contract extension. We'll keep him in Orlando through the 2017 season.
Speaking of the Power Five, though, this next one brings us to maybe something that could hinder us a little bit more.
Yeah, this one caught my eye, and I don't really like it. CBSSports.com reporting that the Big 12, it looks like they're going to be allowed to stage their championship game with a 10-team conference. Not exactly motivating them to expand anytime soon. Because the money's better for them with fewer teams.
Right.
Not more teams.
But then I saw an article as well this week, and it had George O'Leary quoted as saying that the Power Five knows about UCF. They know what happens at UCF, and they're very aware of UCF.
And, we touched on this when we had Jeff Sharon on several weeks ago. I agree with Coach O'Leary. They know who we are. We're on ESPN. They know what the games we've won. What's holding us back? Not a lot of booster dollars, not a lot of dollars in the endowment. I mean, you look at us compared to peer institutions. We lag way behind in the giving. So,
well, yeah, young school, young alumni. Yeah, we got to do some stuff about that. But we'll see what happens. He says George O'Leary thinks that there's still going to be realignment coming up soon of the Power Fives. So hopefully they will do whatever they can to get us, in one of those. We're beating a dead horse.
Yeah, they're going to do what is in their best interest financially. Last week we were talking about more bowl games. Why are there more bowl games? They can go on TV and they can generate money. There's going to be a bowl game for every team soon enough if they keep generating dollars. And this expansion and realignment, the CBSSports.com article mentions the ACC might split into 3 divisions with the top 2 division champs playing for the title.
Yeah,
I mean, it's crazy where this could go. And
yeah, everybody's kind of making their own rules and everything else. So whatever, we'll see. We're not worried about that. We're worried about winning a championship in the AAC this year, and hopefully, I don't know. I think it'd be interesting if it was UCF and Navy. I think that would be
in the
exciting.
AAC title game.
Yep, I think that would be fun.
I like that.
Yeah,
I like that. Got to get by Cincinnati first.
I think Navy's going to be. They could bring an interesting, different type of thing to the AAC. I'm excited for them to join.
Yeah, I like it. Just football only, but
yeah.
And I'm looking forward when UCF plays there. It'd be a cool road trip.
Yeah, and that's they play an exciting brand of football as well. It's a little with their triple option spread craziness.
Yeah, defensive players are looking forward to that when they.
It'll be cool.
See it.
That'll be cool. Anyway, that's just my thought. Plus, my boss is a big Navy fan, so I would love for that to happen.
Little trash talking?
Yes, it'd be awesome.
Little wager, maybe?
Absolutely. All right, so baseball.
Won a game on Sunday after dropping the first 2 games of the series versus UConn. They're in a little bit of a patch here where the bats have gone quiet.
There's a lot of things that have gone quiet because I think the last time that we were doing this show, they were ranked number 6, and now they are,
12th with an arrow heading in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
On a positive, senior Zach Rogers tossed a complete Game 5 hitter. They beat UConn out at the UCF baseball complex in Jay Bergman Field 5-1. However, they dropped the Friday game. They dropped the Saturday game. And the previous weekend lost 2 of 3 on the road at the worst team in the conference in Cincinnati. UCF was 12th in one poll, 15th in another, 18th in another, but I think you're going to see them continue to tumble. 25-12 overall, 4-5 in the American. And perhaps what's worse, do you know who they trail? Do you know who's tops in the American right now in baseball?
No.
The Cows.
Really?
Yeah, they're 7-1 or something like that.
Wow.
UCF senior Tommy Williams named to USA Baseball's midseason Golden Spikes Award watch list, given annually to the top amateur baseball player in the country. Williams, one of just 60 collegiate baseball players across the country, named to that watch list. List will be cut down to 30 on May 7th, and the semifinalists for the prestigious honor will be announced on May 27th. So nice to see him on the list.
Absolutely. Let's hear what Rooney had to say.
Head coach
following
Terry Rooney.
Following the game today.
Another tremendous outing for Raj, and once again, putting the team on his back and did a terrific job. And we talked about it last week at Cincinnati, much of the same thing, a little bit closer game, 2-1. But at the end of the day, our best pitcher rose up, and that's what we need. And he did a terrific job. But I also thought today we had some better at bats. I did. I really felt like we had some better at-bats as the weekend went on, the game went on. I thought we did a good job. Well, obviously, we had the big inning right there, continued to keep it going. So I thought it was a very good team win on Championship Sunday. Raj did a great job.
What about softball?
Softball, however, continues to roll. Number 17. They can't seem to budge from that, though, even though they keep winning. Beat Houston 8-2. Another sweep out at the UCF softball complex. Season high 16 hits. UCF softball 40-6 overall. Just the second time in the program's history, back-to-back 40-win campaigns. So that's pretty impressive.
They've got some real impressive stuff going on.
They're on a roll. They're on a roll. And you think about how far they've come in a relatively short period of time, as Stephanie Best explained to us on the most recent Knightline podcast, how that program has grown and succeeded is very impressive.
And junior Shelby Turner was named the American Athletic Conference Pitcher of the Week for the 3rd consecutive week. And we talked with Stephanie Best last week and how crazy that was. and then she does it again. She pitched 2 complete game wins. She became the first Knight to be named to the USA Softball National Collegiate Pitcher of the Week. She also earned her 2nd consecutive National Pitcher of the Week recognition from the Louisville Slugger National Fast Pitch Coaches Association.
That's got to be a big award just to get the name of the provider.
I had trouble saying it, obviously, so that's crazy.
Racking up the awards, and with the way they keep winning these games, and it seems like I get a no-hitter every weekend. The rest of the league must be like, could we please win an award, a Pitcher of the Week award?
Yeah.
UCF's just been dominating the category.
Yeah, cool.
Recently, of course, in men's soccer, the biggest name has been Romario Williams. He's been the big goal scorer for UCF men's soccer. Left the program to try and get into the pros, and then was drafted by the Montreal Impact of the MLS. And we caught up with Williams, who tallied 18 goals during his UCF career.
We are here with Romario Williams on the phone right now from Montreal. Romario, how are you doing?
Good, doing very good. Thank you. How are you guys doing back there?
We're good. It's a nice day in Orlando today. It's beautiful outside. What's the weather like up there in Montreal?
It's cold right now. I mean, it's been worse, but it's definitely going into spring, so it's definitely warming up, but it's still cold outside. But I'm bearing it. It's been good so far.
Congratulations for seeing your first MLS action in a regular season game, most recently against Orlando City. Tell us a little bit about how that felt to get into a regular season game so soon into your professional career.
Oh, it felt great. It was a tremendous feeling, to be honest. The coach, they told me during the week leading up to the game that my chance will be coming over the weekend. And I mean, that entire week I was just prepared. I was prepared, and my entire focus was towards the game, knowing that that would be a special mark for me and my family and everyone who has supported me over the years. It was a pretty good experience, and I enjoyed every bit of it.
Was that kind of weird that it was against Orlando and you went to school at UCF?
Yes, it's a little bit weird, to be honest, but I mean, that's the nature of the game, you know. Things do happen like that, and you just got to go on with the situation and get with it.
Now, you're a native of Jamaica. Talk to us about what made UCF your choice when you were looking for a college.
I mean, it had a lot to do with the weather, 1, 2, closure, family, the distance from home. It had a lot. There was a number of factors that played part in my decision why I chose Central Florida. And my family and I thought it would be the best fit for me. And that's why we decided to go ahead with that offer.
And you certainly were a standout during your career with UCF, the American Athletic Conference Offensive Player of the Year during your sophomore year. Tell us about your experiences with the Knights.
My 3 years at Central Florida has been nothing but remarkable. I enjoyed every bit of it there, from my freshman year on to my junior year. The entire staff, from my coaches to the student services and everyone there, they just provided a platform for all student athletes, and they made us comfortable as possible. And words can't express how thankful I am for the 3 years that I spent there. And unfortunately, I had to move on to pursue my career dream. But it would always, Central Florida would always be a place in my heart because I had 3 very good years there. How
did you grow as a soccer player during your time with UCF?
I did grow tremendously. I became more mature on and off the field, and that's a huge thanks to Brian Cunningham, Mauricio, who has left on to Jacksonville, Will Clayton, who is there also, and Auntie, who has also moved on. You know, those 4 guys there, they did a very good job with the team, and also players and managing the players and all that stuff. And it's a huge thank you to them for helping me develop my game and get it to the next level.
What would you say was the big difference between playing college soccer and playing in the pros?
It's a big difference. It's much more physical at the pros. It's more physical. It's much faster. You gotta think twice ahead before you receive the ball and know what you're gonna do. You gotta have at least 2 to 3 options. The things that you did at the college level in terms of time and space, and you might get away with it at the college level, but at the pro level, you got to be proactive. You got to be quick and know what you're going to do with it because you don't have that much time and space on the ball.
Do you think that UCF prepared you well to go to the pros?
Absolutely. I think the coaching staff, they provided good training sessions, and the training sessions were good. The physicality of the sessions were there. The guys, we try to push each other as much as possible in the sessions, and it definitely prepared me somewhat for the next level. Even though here it's been a transition phase for me, and it's definitely something I'm getting accustomed to. But each day I come in, I'm getting better and better at it. So it won't be too long until I'm fully accustomed to it, but there's definitely more room to grow.
It was only a couple of months ago you were selected 3rd overall in the MLS Super Draft, one of just 5 underclassmen available. When did you learn about it, and how did you get the news?
The news was first brought to me on New Year's Eve. That's when I first got the news, and that was a tremendous time for me and my family, and couldn't be a better way to bring in the new year. It was, we were all ecstatic, and we were all looking forward to this new chapter in my life.
You know, the Orlando Lions have really come on strong in Central Florida in only a couple of years. That time frame that they were here was about the same time that you were playing with UCF. Can you ever have imagined that Orlando would be host to an MLS team in such a short period of time?
The funny thing is behind it, when I came to Central Florida my freshman year in 2012, that's when I think they first broke the news that Orlando City would be a 2015 expansion team. And, at that point, it was balls to the wall for me. It was everything that I do is to prepare for the what if, this could be a possibility and all that stuff. So,
how do you like playing in Montreal? What do you like the city of Montreal and all that?
Oh yeah, it's a very wonderful city. Besides the cold, it's really good. It's my first time in Canada, and I'm enjoying every bit of it. It's a beautiful place. The city is wonderful, very good people, nice people, and I can't wait for the summertime here to see what the city has to offer.
The season is still early, but you're going to have an opportunity to travel all across the country visiting various cities, also some cities in Canada. That's quite the change from being a part of a collegiate soccer program.
Absolutely. That's one thing for sure. I'm also looking forward to just to travel across the country, Canada, and get to know the different cities the way I did when I was in college in the States.
And what do you think Montreal's chances are this MLS season? What kind of club do you have?
We have the talent, and we have the players, and we have a lot of experience in the locker room. Players who have done it at the highest level and outside of this league, overseas in Europe. So I think once we have the right attitude and the players work together as a group collectively, I think we can do something really special this year. As you know, we're in the semifinals, preparing for the second leg of the CONCACAF Champions League. Hopefully we can pull out the result and get into the finals. That would be big for us. And also, I think we could possibly be a playoff team. And then whenever that time of the year comes, we take it from there. What
would you say to UCF fans who followed your career while you were here in Orlando? What's your message to them? I just want to give them a big thank you for all the love and support over the 3 years, and I'll always be a Knight.
Awesome. You're in the pros. What was that like, the whole transition all the way through from a young kid to now? What did that teach you about life in general?
Never take anything for granted. Every opportunity that you get, be ready, be prepared to make the most of it. You just got to grab each and every opportunity that comes your way with both hands and work as hard as you possibly can, because you dream, for me, at the age of 20, going 21, not a lot of people out there that get the chance to live their dream at such a tender age, and for me, I'm truly blessed and thankful for what the Lord has given unto me, and it's truly a blessing. And the work has just begun. The work has just begun, and hopefully one day I can look back and say I gave him my best shot and I had the best career possible.
Awesome. That's all that you can do. Thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. How can people follow you? Can they follow you on Twitter? Are you on there?
Yeah, sure. They can follow me on Twitter. BALLAKIDROM, Balakidarom.
So, you know what they say, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. We don't need to know about your fun-filled weekend in the City of Sin, but we hope you'll click the ad on our website. It's right there to the left, the one that screams you have to save up to 50% off your next trip to Vegas. Just click on the ad and we promise never to talk about what happened in Vegas.
This is Bo Schneider, and I'm listening to UCF Knightline.
All right, time for some news and notes. UCF women's tennis beat Louisiana Lafayette Saturday for its 12th win of the season. Next up for the Black and Gold, the conference tournament begins April 15th in Tulsa.
Orlando Sentinel reporting the NCAA granted UCF men's basketball guard Matt Williams a medical hardship waiver that gives the Knight 2 more years of eligibility.
The UCF track and field team earned 11 first-place finishes out of 19 events en route to winning the USF Triangular Meet Saturday in Tampa. The Knights scored 162.5 points to defeat runner-up USF, 131 points, and third place FIU.
Sophomore Kia Bright, one of 36 athletes selected by USA Volleyball to participate in the U.S. Collegiate National Team Program. The athletes will train and compete in conjunction with the USA Volleyball Girls Junior National Championships, June 21 through 29 in New Orleans.
The UCF rowing team finished strong at the Connect Cup, earning grand final wins in both the varsity and second varsity 8 races at Mercer Lake in West Windsor, New Jersey on Sunday.
You know, as we read about rowing, I'd like to know more about it. We should get somebody on from rowing to explain what all of these things mean that we talk about.
They sure do some weird cups.
Yeah. The Orlando City U23 will hold open tryouts for the 2015 season. This is soccer, Orlando City soccer, providing local players with an opportunity to be evaluated by the Lions coaching staff. That will take place at UCF April 19th. So all you soccer players out there might become a Lion.
And finally, some Casey Wilson news. Casey Wilson played the other night in a Florida Flight game and scored 35 points with 12 rebounds. Wow.
That's pretty good.
That's awesome.
That's
I'm so
good.
proud of Casey, and that's awesome. I'm very glad that he is getting it together there.
These have been road games for the Flight. They open up their season April 26th. That's a Sunday, 5:45, Downtown Recreation Center in Orlando. They're playing the league champion Miami. FlightHoops.com is where you can learn more on how to see Casey Wilson.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's kind of a cool game. That style of pro basketball is a little bit different than what you might think.
You went to the first game, or an exhibition game that they played at the Amway
Center. Yeah, and it was Casey's first time ever playing with them, and he scored 2 points, and we had talked to him on this. So I want to talk to him again after scoring 35 points.
How did it look as a fan, having seen UCF basketball throughout the season, and then you see the Flight?
To be honest with you, and I was talking to Casey about this, it's more like a professional level of street basketball, because everybody's like, kind of, there's not, the plays worked out as much. It's everybody for themselves kind of out there. It's a little bit more of a disorganized thing, but man, 35 points. Casey never scored 35
I don't think he ever
points.
scored 35.
No.
That would be a career high for him, probably.
That's a lot, especially in that caliber of players, because there's some really good players there.
He gets to continue his playing career, so that's cool.
I can't wait to talk to him again. This has been episode number 38. I'm Andrew Phegley.
I'm Trace Trylko. Go Knights!
Charge on.
UCF, charge on to the field. With our spirits, we'll never yield. Black and gold charge right through the heart. Victory is our cry.